Modern life is exhausting. The daily pace is relentless, but the real weight comes from the boundaries we constantly navigate. Every day, we operate within rigid structures of class, wealth, and status that dictate exactly who we are and where we belong. Which raises a question. In a world obsessed with hierarchy, is there anywhere left where human ego completely dissolves? A place where absolute equality is actually practiced? To find the answer, we have to look to the eastern coast of India. The antidote to modern division exists in an ancient sanctuary, and its entire foundation rests on a single concept: total surrender. This is the Sri Mandir in Puri. It is a monumental architectural achievement and the absolute spiritual epicenter of the city. At its core resides Lord Jagannath. The deity is universally recognized, and the name translates directly to the Lord of the Universe. The temple operates on three distinct centuries-old systems. These traditions act as meticulously designed mechanisms intended to systematically dismantle human ego. To understand the enduring power of this place, we have to look past the incense and the chants and examine the structural logic of how this temple enforces universal brotherhood. Look at the physical representation of the deities. They lack standard human proportions, defined instead by these massive, unblinking eyes. The design serves a specific philosophical purpose. The eyes never close because the divine gaze is constant. It watches everyone equally, completely ignoring the distinction between a monarch and a beggar. That exact same principle extends upward to the highest point of the temple architecture. Here we see the Patita Pabana Bana. This flag acts as a high-altitude beacon of inclusion, visible for miles. Both the abstract form of the idol and the flag flying above serve as a permanent visual broadcast. They tell everyone who approaches that divine grace has no borders, and there is no VIP access to the universe. The second pillar of equality operates at the ground level, through the daily temple food known as Mahaprasad. This functions as a practical social equalizer. The temple kitchen runs on a massive scale, yet the method remains entirely grounded. The food is cooked in these humble earthen clay pots. The true mechanism lies in a strict, unbreakable rule. The moment this food is offered to the Lord, all societal rules regarding caste, purity, and status are instantly abolished. This image captures that reality. People from wildly different socioeconomic backgrounds move together, sit shoulder to shoulder, and share the exact same food from the same pots. Mahaprasad forces the daily physical destruction of societal taboos. It proves that true equality begins when humanity is willing to eat at the exact same table. The third and final pillar is the annual Ratha Yatra, or chariot festival. Once a year, the deity leaves the golden throne of the inner sanctum for the dusty, humid streets. This festival is designed specifically for those who, for any reason, cannot enter the temple walls. It is a physical demonstration of unconditional accessibility. The journey requires these towering structures. These wooden chariots are massive, constructed entirely from scratch every single year. There are no engines here. Moving these chariots relies entirely on these thick ropes, pulling directly on the collective muscle of humanity. This overhead view shows the sheer magnetism of the event. Millions of individuals converge, forming an ocean of humanity that surrounds and propels the chariots. The Ratha Yatra is an inversion of traditional power dynamics. The creator of the universe steps down to become a companion to the masses, able to move forward only through their united effort. When the festival ends and the crowds disperse, the mechanics of this tradition move inward. The core philosophy of Jagannath dictates that divine grace only begins at the exact moment a person's individual ego and their perceived power over others comes to an end. The rigid structures we constantly build around ourselves have to dissolve completely into a state of flowing connection. Because of this internal mechanic, physical distance from Puri is entirely irrelevant. The call of absolute love and surrender operates without borders, and it always reaches its target. So when the exhaustion of modern life sets in, and you find yourself facing artificial division, look toward these principles. In practice, Jagannath operates as an active instruction.
It requires daily acts of love, of selfless service, of absolute equality, and shared humanity. This image of the chariots resting in a bustling city street shows how that ancient culture remains permanently integrated into the living world. Whenever we strip away our ego and choose to embrace our shared humanity, every path we walk naturally leads to Nilachala.